Well, it's Monday. I had a good weekend. My weekend was quiet. There is a tendency, I think, when you're not doing a 100 project, and when you've finished a project, you're between comics, for example, right? And you're at this page where you're maybe editing comics or writing comics, but you're not necessarily drawing or working on comics all the time. You're just, oh, I'll script this page, or I'll script that page, or I'll script this, or write this, or edit this. The output is abstract because there's nothing you can really show on a video like this. And I think the 100s minimises this limbo. I'm in this limbo at the moment. I'm waiting to hear back on a few projects that's about to start. But I'm not directionless. I'm not directionless. This. I don't. It's not like I don't have direction. I have direction. Oh dear. But it's not like I don't have things to do. The weekend I did some thumbnails for a poster design brief. I've got another poster design brief, but I've got a bit of time on that. So I will probably do some work on both those poster designs this week. The director was due to look at the first. The director was supposed to look at my poster design on Saturday and never showed up. So okay, as and when, I'll probably just take a photo of them and send them to her so she can have a look at them. What I do have this morning was a message about 5 minutes ago from another client regarding the commission that I've been commissioned to commit. He wants a production meeting to talk about the requirements of the brief. Talk about delivery schedules and all this sort of stuff, which is like, it's fine. I suggested this a week ago, or a week or more ago actually. And he sort of got back and saying that you're going to be free in about 12 hours time, go to the pub and talk about it. I'm like, well, probably. 12 hours is a bit short notice. I mean, normally some people say how you fix for tomorrow, not people say how you fix for tonight. It's a bit tricksy. It should be okay. It is what it is, and it'll be fine. So yeah, I started off this video, and I started off this week thinking that I'm in limbo. There's no real sort of place to go, and it turns out I'm not. There's always something to go. Now, you may not work at pace, you may not be working with the same ferocity, right? The pace of work, but I think that's fine. I think life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. If you're constantly going 100 miles an hour, you're never going to stop to see that you're racing down the country lane and some nice cow slips on the road, and this metaphor's going nowhere. So I'm going to wrap this up right now and say goodbye, and let's get this week going. Alright, see you later. Bye. Okay, it's Tuesday. Yesterday I was sort of complaining that I'd got nothing to do. I wasn't sure what my direction was. Last night I had a meeting with a client about a commission, and I've now got work up until mid-December. From now till mid-December, I'm basically swamped with illustration work for a client. So yeah, it's going to be tricky, but I think we can do it. Now, it does raise a problem. It does raise the question about Inktober. What I'm going to do about Inktober. I don't want to get swamped doing Inktober, this vlog, and illustration work, and any other comic work that I do. So here's the plan. I've mapped out 18 days of Inktober so far, and by that I sort of thumbnailed out a response for each one. So when it comes to the day, I know what I'm drawing. So there's two things. One, we start Inktober early, or we build up a buffer of Inktober drawings. Two, we work smaller so that we can cover more real estate on the page. So I'm thinking this comic should really be an A5 comic. which allows us to do things like work at A5 res. We can work on 2 pages at once. It's less estate to draw on, which means we can't be as detailed. We can't be doing crazy detailed drawings, which keeps the drawings loose, in theory. So I'm thinking this is probably a good way of doing it, because this whole story, if I can get a beginning, middle and end for Inktober as a cohesive narrative that means something, then we've got ourselves a comic book. We've got a 31-page comic book. 28. So it has to be a 32-page comic book, and slap a cover on there as well, and do it all in black and white. The printing costs would be relatively minimal compared to doing a full colour run. It's A5, so again it'd be a smaller print, a smaller physical size, so theoretically a smaller print cost. That could be very interesting, and that's something I'm really going to try and push for. It means we could have a comic published without necessarily having to go through like crowdfunding or anything like this, because it's feasible to make it in a sort of DIY style, or at least get it printed cheaper. So the rest of this week I'm basically trying to crowbar as much design work as I can into the hours that I've got to sort of get various clients the thumbnails that they need, the typography that they want, and the proofs and all this stuff that they need. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week, I think, but I think it's doable. I've also got to release. I've also got to try and get some more work done on AIMS. There should be a video up already showing how we now handle text, which is better. Everything is sort of in place to write out data. I just can't get it to write out data reliably at the moment. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to examine that at some point as well. So it's going to be a busy week, I think. And yesterday I was worried there was nothing to do. Cool, dear oh dear. In other news, we've got a couple of new people doing the 100s. Now, I looked at them and I left comments on their videos yesterday, but that was yesterday. So there's 2 I can remember. One is Bad Ham Comics, links down below, and the other one is Fogbound Studios. Now, their video is out, but it's an unlisted video, and so it was shared with a select group of people. I was one of them. I've commented on the video, and it's a good start. So I can't really share that video. What I can do though is share their channel. So their channel's down below. They've got 100s a day. I think they've got a day one out now. They've both got day ones out. NOOBCOMICGUY put up a released a video after a bit of radio silence. He's still on the challenge. He's still working it. He's still doing the do, which is great. So all you guys who are doing the 100s, keep plugging at it. If I can give you any advice, or one piece of advice or encouragement, there's a technique or something to think about called the cookie jar. It's a concept developed by a guy called David Ogden, I believe. So the actual video about it is down below, but sort of TLDR, the guy was running an ultra marathon, which is 100 miles race. Guy'd never run anything like it before. He was a former soldier, so he was fit, but he'd not run a mile in like the last 6 months, and suddenly he got 3 days to prepare for this 100-mile endurance race. He ran this first marathon. The first 25 miles was fine, the second 25 miles was terrible, and the third 25 miles went down from there. At this point he'd got nothing left in the tank and he was ready to quit, and he happened upon or developed a mental capacity, a mental trick to energize himself, to realise that he was 3/4 done and then he could do this. And it's a piece of encouragement for yourselves. So check out the video. I think it's useful. Might be useful for you guys. Obviously you guys don't have to run ultra marathons and have diarrhea dripping down your legs to do this stuff. just make a drawing. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Right, I'll see you guys later. Right, bye. It's Wednesday. I'm sort of in slow moving traffic, which is better than not moving traffic, which was yesterday. Yesterday I was in the car for 2 hours to make the half-hour trip to work. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst traffic jams I've been in for years and years. However, speaking of jams, I got a script through recently for the comic jam I'm part of, and it's a one-page script. And last night I drew it up and sent it off to the writer. The writer likes the penciling, but it sort of agrees with me there's a lot of text in the script, and we should really trim that down a bit. So we're going to revise the text, which will help, I think, the composition of some of the panels. But we've been given a deadline of a month to put this together, which is great because we've already got like first draft pencils done already. So we can sort of work on it a bit more and refine it, and we can probably get something done ready for inks by the end of next week. Great. Did some work on the commission. That's going to be essentially, guys, take it as read that if I do an update, I've done some work on the commission. Just take it as read, really. And I'm sort of doing some more prep work for Inktober. We've now only got 8 days left for me to thumb out, which is annoying because we've managed to craft a narrative. We've got a beginning, there's sort of a middly bit, there's an ending. We go from icy tundra to verdant forests to abandoned spaceships. I've thrown in a zombie, and it's very reminiscent of the Roman Ancient Mariner, which is one of my favourite poems ever. And there's an ending I think we can do, but can I get all these prompts into the ending, or do I have to sort of add a few extra pages here and there to bridge the different endings? So a couple of pages I've actually combined multiple days into a single page, which is going to be interesting when I come to ink those out, because I'll be doing here's half a page, here's a panel. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's looking to be somewhere in the region of about 30 pages. So what's that going to give us? 28, 32. Let's say 32 pages. But if I was a betting man, I would probably say more like 36 pages. That's quite a thing, and I'll draw them A5, because then the potential is that we could print these as a book that you could buy and read, and I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I did look at the cost of a very small run, and it wasn't overly expensive for a black and white A5 comic. So I'm thinking I'm going to go A5 for this one. I'm also working at A5, so I'm working at the print that I'm distributing as. Is useful because it means I can fill a drawing very quickly. I haven't got to draw lots of areas. I can't work in detail. There's no detail, so I can't do any detail work because I've only got A5 to work with, which should make the drawings faster. Making those drawings should be a faster process. So yeah, this is very exciting. This is very encouraging. Today, I'll just keep battling on with Inktober prep and the story about a spaceman, which I need to come up with a title. I'm not sure what to call it, but we'll figure something. Anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's get this day going. Alright, I'll see you later. Right, bye. So welcome to the Sofa Cam. I went to the comic book shop today It's Wednesday, so it's New Comic Book Day, but I went for old comics. My comic book shop does grab bags, 4 or 5 comics for I think it's 4 comics for £2. But even if it was £4 each, it's still way less than the normal price of a comic. So I bought 2 packs. I bought them purely on the basis of what I saw on the front cover and the shelves, which is Fantastic Four and some Star Wars. So let's have a look and see what we got. Alright, so first up we've got Marvel Tales Fantastic Four. This is number 1. This is from obviously Marvel. It's a big thick book as well. DC Comics Action Comics number 1006. So my Brian Michael Bendis run. What's this? This is Age of Resistance Finn number 1, and this must be a Marvel. Silver Surfer number 1. What is this? Is this the new one? Is it? When is this published? 1st of October 2019. So this only came out recently. So Prodigal Son number 1. So actually, that's a pretty good haul right there for. I think it was over £2 or £4. And this, look at this bad boy, man. Look at this stuff. That's a Fantastic Four. Number 4, some Kirby work. Fantastic Four Annual number 6 and Fantastic Four 245 with some John Byrne artwork in there. Ooh, that's going to be nice. Look at that, that's great. And that's the first pack. So let's take a look at the second pack. Okay. So we've got another Age of Rebellion number 1. Different cover by the looks of it. Didn't realise that at the time. Well, it's the other one that was hidden away, wasn't it? It's a Greg Pak and a bunch of other people on there as well. Cool. Okay, that's from July this year. Daredevil. Number 9. This is a variant cover. When was this? Okay. This must be a DC book. It's Year of the Villain. It's again a variant cover. So one came out, and Doctor Who, 13th Doctor. It's Titan Comics number 11. Interesting to read that one. I'll be honest and say the last series left me cold. So hopefully the comics will do something to rehabilitate the character. Well, all in all, I think that's quite a haul. Okay, let's cut away now to all of them as a group. Okay, and that's the group. Actually, looks like we've got 2 lines of Star Wars. One is Age of Rebellion, and one is Age of Resistance, both number 1s. So I wouldn't be surprised if one dealt with more legacy characters, as evidenced by Jabba the Hutt, and one dealt with new characters, as evidenced by Finn. But yeah, look at that. That's a heck of a haul of comics for less than a tenner. I think the whole lot cost about £8 or something ridiculous. That's how I like to buy my comics. So yeah, fun times. Oh yeah. In addition to that, this was free. In addition to that, this one was free at the counter. It's basically it's an ash can. It's a slightly smaller copy. It's a slightly smaller comic here. Let me pop that up so you can see the size difference. This is to do with Raven and it's illustrated by Gabriel Piccolo. But yeah, it's quite nice. Sort of muted colours. It's hard to tell, but if I go in close, you can see that that's actually like a purple colour. So it's really interesting looking colours. Actually, you can see red is a bit more vibrant. So yeah, there's certainly a lot going on there. Yeah, looking forward to reading that. And this one was free. Something to do with DC Ink. I'm just find out what that is. Oh, it's an intriguing size format as well. Fortunately, it's not quite the same. Actually, I got off it up against a darker book. Yeah, off it up against this Daredevil. You can see then, proportionally, it's not quite. Well, it doesn't fit, does it? It's not proportionally the same, but it's intriguing size. So yeah, that's something interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Well, welcome to Thursday. For many people, it's almost the end of the week. For me, it is the end of the week. This is a shortened vlog this week. So I say last night, I put a video. I did a bit of video where I went for some grab bags that I bought earlier in the day. I went to the comic book shop to pick up some grab bags and a present for my brother. It's his birthday weekend. As it's his birthday, it's also my birthday. If you don't know already, we're identical twins. We're not totally identical. It's interesting that growing up, he was more scientific, I was more artistic. He is a computer programmer, I do pretty pictures. He did contact me in the week though with an idea for a comic, and so I sat and talked to him for a bit, and I suggested that he write a script, and I gave him some resources that I had, some old scripts, some script samples from DC and Marvel, and I recommended and bigged up my boy Waystorm's channel. So hopefully he's reading through the scripts, watching the videos, and just getting a broad contextual knowledge about, you know, the process of writing scripts, the process of story structure, and the process of actually sticking a comic script together in a format that an artist can look and go, that makes total sense. And I think that's the thing. There's almost two stages of learning happening here, I think, and I think this might hold true for everyone. So comment below if you agree, or comment below if you disagree. Let's have a debate, sort of, in as much as messages on YouTube count as a debate. He could be or should be learning from reading, acquiring knowledge. Essentially, I believe the process is called synthesizing information, sort of reading scripts, getting an idea what flies and what doesn't, getting an idea what works and what doesn't, getting an idea of how it's structured, getting an idea of the fact that odd pages need to think about our page turns. We need something at the bottom of that page, get the reader to turn the page, that sort of thing. And then there's the application of that knowledge, taking that information that he's learned and then saying, oh, here's my comic page, and look, I've learned the lesson that we need something at the end of it. We need a big page turn at the end of page 1, and we need something good on page 3. It hasn't got to be epic, but something to encourage the page turns. We can't have tiny panels with lots of text. We can't have tiny panels with lots of space balloons in there, because then there's no place to put a drawing. We can't have a tiny panel with one speech bubble, but with like a wall of text, because no one's going to read that. I don't care about how many words per se, but if you think about it, there's no one going to read it. And you know, I think Brian Michael Bendis is notorious for doing this sort of thing. So I think learn that lesson, keeping it short. Don't prevaricate around the bushes. Don't labour the point and keep going on and on and on and on about things tangentially related to the subject that you're talking about. So yeah, I think the big process in learning is the application of knowledge. So learn the thing by doing the thing. I think that's a pretty cool little mantra to have. I invite everyone to get that text and slap it on a t-shirt. I think that'd be kind of cool. Write it in your sketchbook. Learn the thing by doing the thing. It's the best way, because you pick up contextual knowledge through reading, through examining comic pages from scripts and things like this. But to apply the knowledge, you have to then make your own pages that answer the questions that you raise reading the comics. How many panels do I want to put on a page? Is 9 panels? Everyone loves 9-panel grids, but is that going to work for this? Can I tell a story? Can I tell a story on a page with, say, 7 panels? How about if I do it with 11 panels? Is 11 too many on a page? What's the smallest panel I can have? I know what the biggest panel is. I can have a full page splash. But can I tell a story with a splash page and inset panels? Does that work? And these are sort of interesting questions that you ask when reading a script, and then you try them out by doing them. Anyway, that's enough for today, and that's pretty much enough for the week. Next week there is no vlog because I will be away and there will be no Wi-Fi probably, so I'm going to be going stir crazy. Can't say that I'm looking forward to it. Can't say that I'm really looking forward to it. That sounds okay. I quite like vlogging. I quite like talking about the stuff I'm doing, but I can't talk about it next week. So I'm just going to concentrate on doing lots and lots of stuff. So next week there will probably not be. Come on, Dave. Use our words. Week after next, there will probably be a bumper edition vlog with getting us all up to speed with all the work that we did last week. Well, that'll be this week. Oh God, Dave, you suck. Jump cuts, please. So there probably won't be a vlog update next week. I'm on holiday, and there will be probably no Wi-Fi. But I shall still be able to do work on Inktober and the commissions and all that sort of stuff. So watch this space in 2 weeks' time, and there'll probably be a slightly more bumperish edition of the vlog with a lot more updates and things going on. Okay, whew, that's it. I hope you all have a good week. Have a great weekend. You know, do whatever it is you do. Learn a thing, do a thing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Alright, bye. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're still subscribed and rock the bell for notifications. Okay, bye bye now.